Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel and to some more turkey pattern testing. And we're out here on a pretty cold morning. Even though it's a little bit later in the morning, it's still pretty cold. It's like 25 degrees. So definitely not thinking too much about turkey hunting, but definitely thinking about how this combination we've got today might give us some really good looking results. So for the shell I've got out here today, I brought out some of the Winchester Longbeard XR loads. Now this is just their 50th anniversary box. Doesn't make any difference to the shells, but these are the 12 gauge 3-inch 1.75 ounces of number 5 shot, going about 1200 feet per second. And we know that these tend to be pretty good performers, so I'm definitely curious to see how they do through today's setup. And as for that setup, I've brought my Remington 1187 back out here again. However, I threw in this choke. This is the Avian-X Crusher 665 constriction turkey choke, and we've tested the Longbeard 6s through this choke, and they gave us a really good looking pattern. So hopefully the 5s do just as well, or maybe even better through this Avian-X, and we have a really good looking pattern on our hands today. That's the hope anyway. So definitely a combination that we should see some pretty decent results from. But as for the testing, everything's going to be the same as we usually do it. I have the turkey target set up at 40 yards. I also have the chronograph, so we'll be able to see how close the shot gets to the box posted 1200 feet per second. So let's get you guys to view this target, and I'll head up and take the shot. We'll look at our chrono speed, and then we'll go down range and see how they actually performed. So let's head over here and shoot them and see if this Avian-X Crusher 665 does just as well with the 5s as it did with the 6s. Okay, so that shell gave us 1211 through the chronograph, which the box was claiming 1200, so we're right on the money with what we should be seeing. So definitely nothing out of the ordinary up here, but how did it actually shoot down range? Let's go down and take a look. Alright, so now we're down range here at our 40-yard paper, and this is what we got. Now, first off, we do have a dead turkey. There are 4 in the brain there that would have gotten the job done. But as we back up here and look, this is not really all that impressive of a pattern, and definitely not what I would expect out of a Longbeard XR shell. And there's definitely something interesting going on here, one way or the other, because we've shot one shell out of that 50th anniversary box before, and I think it gave us some really poor results for a Longbeard shell as well. And seeing that this is yet another shell out of that same box and it gives us the same poor performance, there might be something going on with that particular box of shells. Or did they change something up in the loading for those 50th anniversary boxes? I don't know. I'm almost leaning towards a quality control issue, which I've heard rumors about with these Longbeard shells, but I'm just not impressed. Anybody who shot Longbeard before can look at that pattern and see that, yeah, that's not what a Longbeard load should look like. We've had stock full chokes give us better patterns than this. So I don't know on this one. Would that particular shot have gotten the job done for you? Yes, but clearly there's something going on here that ain't quite right. It's not even really even. There's some big gaps and voids over here. It's a lot more splotchy on the right side. You have a little bundle of shot right there for whatever reason. You have flyers way down there at the bottom of the page. Like, it's just not what I would typically see out of a Longbeard load. So definitely something weird going on here. I don't think it's due to the choke and the shell not getting along. So with that being said, I guess I'll have to track down some regular box Longbeard 5s and try that and see, well, do those make any difference or not? But definitely I'm suspicious of something going on as far as this test goes. But I don't show fake results here, so this is the real world and this is what we got. Good or bad, it is what it is. And definitely something not so amazing going on today. Alright, and here's the wad out of that shell, and as we can see, it's definitely your typical Longbeard wad. You can see the stripes from the straight rifling inside of that Avian-X choke, but we do see a torn pedal there and a little bit of other stuff banged up here, but that's not entirely unusual for these Longbeard wads. They're pretty thin and they tend to get beat up really easily, but nothing down in there other than a little bit of dusty buffer material, that waxy stuff they use. So immediately, I normally don't like to see torn pedals, but that's pretty normal for a Longbeard wad in my testing anyway, so nothing that would immediately concern me as far as the wad goes on this one. So I definitely think the shells are just loaded funny, quality control isn't quite right, something, because this is definitely not normal for a Longbeard load to perform like this. Alright y'all, well, what did you think about that performance there? Definitely not what I was expecting and not what I would call a true Longbeard pattern either. I've said it several times already, but I definitely think there's something goofy going on with that particular box of shells, or that run in the 50th anniversary box, or something like that, because that's 2 shells that we've tested out of that box. The only 2 shells we've tested out of that box, and they still both performed like that. So I think it's time to track down some more normal box Longbeard loads and see if it makes any difference, because I definitely think there's something weird going on here. But as always, let me know your thoughts about it in the comments. Is that what you expected to see? Have you tested the Longbeard 5s through an Avian-X, and is that the results that you have gotten? And have you seen some really strange patterns and performances like this from the Longbeard loads, or the Longbeard 5s, or the 50th anniversary boxes? Leave all that down in the comments and let me know. But with that being said, I've got a bunch more tests coming y'all's way, so I'm going to get back to it. As always, we do have the channel Instagram, as well as a mailbox where you can send stuff if you want to. All that information will be in the description for you, but I'm going to get back to the testing, so I'll see y'all in the next one.